If you have any Polish friends or a Polish partner, you know at this point that there's one truth that is as real as the fact that the earth is round. That is, of course, assuming that you believe that the earth is round. And that is how much they despise cold weather and winter. On this episode, I'll try to explain to you the psychological and emotional relationship that Poles have with winter and cold weather, why they hate it so much, why they fear it, why they overdress, and why they complain about it non-stop, even though they are totally built for it.
Boom!
Boom! Cześć ludzie! What's up, people? Hola, JT here. Welcome to another episode coming to you from a beautiful, cold, frigid morning here in Warsaw. By the way, fun fact, I believe that in the 15 years that I've been in Poland, coming to Poland, visiting, now living here, this is the longest span of time that I've seen unmelted snow on the ground. Uninterrupted. It's like 2 months at this point that I haven't seen grass. I love it. But I am sure that any Polish person that is in your vicinity is probably driving you insane at this point. Aren't they? They really hate this. And it's an incredible surprise to me because they are incredibly good with cold weather, which leads me to point number one. And that is how Poles are total cold weather professionals. Let me tell you, here everything just keeps working. Doesn't matter the conditions. Is it -5, -10? Doesn't matter. -20, it doesn't matter. The trams keep moving, the buses keep arriving, kids go to school. It's not a rare sight to see somebody walking their dogs still in their pajamas. The type of things that I've seen happen here in other countries, it would be a state of emergency. Like I still remember one time living in the UK. I went to this songwriting camp and I was there for a week and we got snowed in. The amount of snow that was actually falling and that was there, probably 1/3 of the snow that you see around me. We could not leave. We had to stay 2 extra days. All news outlet, it was like, oh, the UK is in some sort of state of emergency because of the snowstorm. And in Poland, it's like, yeah, it's Tuesday. But there's a historical reason for this. In Poland, winters in the past used to be really rough. The amount of snow that would fall was significantly more than now. As a matter of fact, most people that I talk to these days, when they see me jumping out of happiness because there's some snow on the ground, they're telling me like, yeah, but this is nothing like it used to be when we were kids. It was a longer period of time with freezing temperatures. But also, there's another reason why Poland functions so well and why Poles do so well in these harsh conditions. And it's all here. They are just resilient people. They wake up every day and life is a task that needs to be done. You need to conquer the day. Doesn't really matter. You do what you have to do. You're gonna complain, of course, and that's how they blow off some steam, but they just power through. But as much as there's strength here, also they emotionally hate cold weather. It's a very weird relationship that they have because, like I just mentioned, they're strong in their minds. Like really, Polish people are some of the strongest minded people that I've ever met. But they're also weak, and it's like Superman and kryptonite. Their kryptonite is cold weather. I haven't met a single Pole that, when they ask me where I'm from, they don't mention the weather. Weather must be so nice. How many degrees do you guys have there right now? Probably around 30. Oh, mój Boże, co pan robi w Polsce? And I just laugh, especially when I tell them that I actually love this temperature. And if you're brave enough to ask a Pole if they actually like winter, of course, the answer will be an automatic nie. Because for Poles, winter is not like that in the movies. It's not just Christmas lights and grzane wino and warm chocolate. For them, is dark gray skies for weeks and months on end, is darkness at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, is cold, chilling wind melting your face is dressing up with gazillion layers like an onion so that you don't get freezing cold when you're outside, but the moment that you're in, then you are melting hot. To them, cold weather and winter is kind of like an inconvenience. And I've met people here that truly like winter, although they're few and far between, but I've met them. They're not unicorns. And to be fair with Poles, I think that the longer you live under these conditions, the more you learn to appreciate the opposite. Poles don't really hate winter because they are weak. They hate it because it's a major inconvenience that they know they will have to deal with year after year after year. So it has lost a little bit of that spark and magic that, for example, I feel it has. But something that in Poland is very real is the fear of cold. Because here, feeling cold is associated with sickness. If you get cold, you're gonna get sick. That's why here you're gonna get yelled at if you're not wearing the right type of clothes. If they're gonna open the door to pick up a package from Poczta Polska, they're gonna put on their winter gear just to walk 5 steps to retrieve that. They are going to tell you constantly, even if you're 30, 40 years old, 44 like I am, you're gonna have your in-laws, your parents telling you, hey, zauszczapkę. They're literally gonna yell at you. The moment that you let yourself get cold, that is basically inviting all the viruses to come into your body. And they truly believe it. If you sit on a cold surface like this, if you don't wear a hat that protects your ears, then that's it. You're doomed. You're gonna be sick, and you're gonna get everyone else sick in the household. I have children now, and there are consequences. When one of us gets sick, then the rest of us will get sick too. So I know where it comes from, but I don't necessarily agree with the fact that feeling cold is, automatically getting sick. I've read papers that say that when you're cold, then you're more susceptible, your defense is lower, so on and so forth, but I almost don't get sick, and I don't overdress as much. So even though I respect the psychology behind this fear, I don't share it. And I feel that Poles would be a little bit happier if they would enjoy winter a little bit more if they were not so scared of catching an illness due to feeling cold. But I'm not gonna make fun of this. I'm gonna be respectful about it because I think that cultures have memory. Memories have trauma sometimes. In Poland, there is a historical trauma with cold weather. You have older generations that still remember how difficult it was to keep their flats warm without modern heating systems, without being able to buy proper clothing. Just remember that Poland is doing really, really well now. But for the longest time, Poland was an emerging economy, was a poorer country under the boot of communism. And it was difficult for people to acquire certain goods, certain services. And being locked up in an apartment at minus 20 degree weather with badly sealing windows, that's a traumatic event. That is something that is going to stay with you. It's going to make you feel afraid. And of course, there are illnesses. If you get sick in such conditions, it's a lot harder to shake it off. It's something that will haunt you. I wholeheartedly respect and understand some of this psychological and emotional relationship that exists between Polish people and cold weather. Whether I get to enjoy this beautiful country with its weather, I am aware that winters these days are not what they used to be, especially when we can enjoy some modern facilities and being able to sit at home in the comfort of a warm couch with proper clothing and a hot beverage. And I will tell you what is one of my favorite things about Polish winter. That is how united they are. They are united in their complaining, in their misery. They are united in the never-ending hope that soon the early spring is going to come and the sun is going to come out and they're going to be able to be outside and read a book, ir a kanapka. They're going to smile more. They're going to be friendlier. They are going to finally be free. They're going to escape that prison of the cold, gray, and dark days, these thicker jackets. I think the Poles are really friendly people. They just live with the wrong weather half of the year. And every year that I spend here, every new winter that comes, I learn a little bit more about Poles and who they are and how they've been shaped by their weather, by their climate. I respect it more. I understand it. And I will tell you, as much as I absolutely love this, I am also waiting for spring now. I want to smile. I want to go out with my children, and some nice warm weather could be nice. Boom! That's all, guys. That's the end of this episode. I hope you liked it. Years and years of listening to people complain about the weather, and my in-laws and family members and babcha, and even my wife sometimes, although I think she already gave up, telling me how I should cover up more, I should put on more layers, I should cover my ears. This is a summer hat. This is not for winter. And I understand a little more now. Will I dress up more? Probably not. But hey, as they say, if you can beat them, join them. See you later.